sauerkraut, waterfall, olive, all bow wow, call, tall pow, south side, outside, pow, outline, missile thought, fire bounce, higher pose, out now. I was outside, now my power, pow, now. Eyes where I should've, speak utterly, upside down, camera obscura, power down, scuba, mama in Cuba, my it sounds good now. Out and about, title bout, vow, how loud, high lie, mutai, Aztec, forearm, NASDAQ, abstract, freckle rockin', chow down, hazmat to deuces, diametrically outbound. Matter of fact, pass that ginger pop in the cooler than the medulla of Rick the ruler. Hula hooping with new bow dimes from Nuba. That's that life of a king, got my crown now, feeling accomplished. Super looper fresh chocolate, collectible conscious, young crunk in your town now. Via minor aircraft, snapping like a bear trap. Tijuana Air Max, chainmail gauntlet. Big Bertha earthquakes, 100 dB, 90 BPM, heavy hitting them triplets. 100-sided dice, rolling 79 twice. Get ready, we bringing the jazz back with the rhythm, we giving them sentiments to some Midwest liquid mission. Tricky nicks and mixing, matching, scratching, rapping, action. Jackson making it happen. Pap it, midi, patching, mapping with a pinch of magic, casting master sentences. With a gang of wicked vixens listening close to O's, flipping different widgets, mystic digits, coast to coast, pole to pole, folding time, golden time. Overload on boom, we're back. This is DJ Radon at TTM Academy, and yeah, so we've been covering the hip-hop cults, and this case is coming to a close with NATUREBOY. I mean, obviously there's a lot of other things he could be charged for and things that could get lumped on to his existing charges, but he's been indicted. It was on yesterday, and we're just going to be going over a few things and just an overview of the whole case. So for those that don't know, the cult has been broken up into different places. These are some of the women from the cult. But yeah, once again, primarily I want to say a shout out to Kulu live streaming, to Kulu and World News for breaking the story. They're the first to break the story. And it's not even on the news yet. But obviously this is all going to be on the news. But yeah, and also I checked my analytics, and most people that are tuning in are actually tuning in from New York. But just so y'all know, I'm actually broadcasting from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? We're actually broadcasting from Atlanta. I lived in New York 20 years, but you know, I'm back and forth between here and New York, but I'm mostly in Atlanta these days. Yeah, so you know, actually my ex back in the day, she was raised in a cult. She was raised in a cult in like North Georgia. And, you know, there's a lot of cults out there, you know, when after the 60s and 70s, you know, a lot of people started going to the land, and they would call it the land. And, you know, not just the Nubians, but, you know, a lot of other cults. But yeah, so to start, we're just going to do a kind of fast forward. I just want to play this little clip right here, though. Right, so yeah, ain't no more playing GA, you know, ain't no more playing GA, and that's what's happening. You know, the DA's cracking down, Atlanta police force is cracking down. They are not playing with all this cult stuff because, you know, for years we've been talking about how there's the elephant in the room, and, you know, people are able to get away with all different types of stuff, and namely those people are the hip-hop world. In the hip-hop world, mafias and gangs and cults are, you hear them on the radio every day, you hear them even you know, getting new members and things like that. And when people become you know, so they're soliciting the youths, you know, they're soliciting youths on the radio, and NATUREBOY was doing the same thing. NATUREBOY, aka Eligio Bishop, right? And you know, he was grooming a lot of these young women when they were younger, and you know, telling them they could move to his place and not have to ever work again. And you know, he preys on people that got like SSI and you know, a lot of mentally ill people. Some of these sisters are actually mentally ill, which is a very sad thing. And on the whole gang violence thing, you know, this summer we've been covering cults and gang violence, and you know, because gangs are cults and cults are gangs, like we were saying in the last lecture. And we've been covering the psychology behind this and the criminology that's going on. And you know, when people join gangs or cults, a lot of times they have initiations, and with his initiations, it was similar to a gang where you know you have beat downs. They'd have people in a circle getting beat down if they were punished, and then also you know he made people download his information. And for those that don't know, downloading his information is swallowing, basically, um, swallowing his seeds or whatever. And you know, we don't know if he was making males or even the children do that, but we do know that he on camera admitted to letting his son touch his package. You know, it's just too much. It's the Atlanta authorities were like, we're taking this fool down. And you know, the streets in Atlanta are a little bit safer, you know, because like I was saying before, at Tassili's here in Atlanta, you know, the dude looks like a paramilitary guy that has to protect the place. Even, and then you go next door, and there's no, you know, they're not strapped at like Captain D's or places right across the street from Tassili's. It's like, why does like a Hotep kind of vegan eatery have to have crazy guns? Because we have a whole new thug Hotep problem. You know what I'm saying? Cats on on some fake conscious stuff. So you know, shout out once again to World News and Kulu live streaming for breaking the story on Bigo and YouTube, because this problem just is really spreading. You know, we're gonna be covering Isis Wisdom and Rod Hayes backing Rashad Jamal in an upcoming lecture, probably our next lecture after this one. And you know, it's this like I call it Cap Tech. You know, there's Hotep, there's Thought Tep. You know, there's all these, you know, Thug Tep, all these things that are happening, Cult Tep, all these deviations of Hotepism and whatnot. And it's just getting real crazy because people are, you know, talking about, you know, using Pokemon and video games and Thor to teach people information that's fake, you know. So it's all this fake information out there. And here at TTM Academy, we deal with facts. You know, we deal with facts. So we're going to just rewind back to the BBC lecture. I mean, the BBC expose on the carbonation code, probably back when they were still called melanation, because they used to, for those who don't know, they kept changing their names. They used to be called melanation. But yeah, so these sisters, you know, like for instance, this sister in the middle, I don't know if y'all have seen the video with Malia. She was fighting Velvet on the beach, and he had them fighting each other, and literally she was biting into each other and tearing each other open, and with wounds and stuff like that, on the beach, you know. So he got this cult where it's finally coming to a close as far as the leader, but we don't know if they're going to try to do like Elron and actually continue this after Nature Boy. But I want to fast forward to Mama Anna to, you know, because some people are saying that he might get 10 to 25 years, you know, especially if they add on even longer the other charges. It could go even longer, right? But what would happen 20 years from now, right, if he were to be released? I'm going to bring up this thing right here. Let me see. At the bottom of this. So before we go into this, I just want to once again shout out to Kulu right here. This is who broke the story on YouTube via World News' Bigo, right? So you can get information right here, and make sure you subscribe. Kulu live streaming. Shout out to the whole Beam team, and then for you know, breaking this story. But yeah, so we're gonna go right here. We're gonna go right here. I'm gonna show you a little bit fast forward what it could be like seeing Nature Boy in the future, 25 years from now. But I'm gonna play this right now.
In Cobb County, convicted killer and ex-cult leader Anna Young has died. The Marietta woman led
the reason I'm playing this too is because even though he doesn't have any murder charges yet, the Mama Dia case could be opened up. For those that don't know, Mama Dia, he told her to stop taking her medicine, and she died while at his cult in Central America. They got kicked out of like at least 3 Central American countries, and he was in prison in multiple countries for heinous acts. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of those charges can't necessarily transport over to the U.S., but maybe some of the Puerto Rico things that they did in Puerto Rico could be, as far as trafficking and stalking and all types of crazy stuff with, Solar's baby and whatnot. We don't know if he was forcing abortions. So a lot of things are going to come out. They confiscated at least 19 iPhones. And so he has, dirt on his other members as well as dirt on himself. And the thing is that a lot of his other members are also culpable. And I personally think they all need to be investigated because, there's a lot of crazy things that happen that, still are behind closed doors, right? But yeah, that's why I just want to play this thing right here because it's kind of a parallel to what's going on. And they even, 11 Alive even tagged it, right, and put this video about Mama Anna in with the Nature Boy thing. Because what's interesting is that in one of our previous videos we covered all the news stories, so maybe we'll add that clip in with all the news stories that are out there so far on Nature Boy. But it's just interesting to see what it could be like for him in the future as a elderly person incarcerated, because right now the existing crimes are this right here. For the algorithms, I'm gonna keep it clean, but this is his existing crimes that are up, right, like that. So he was, not only did he do the R word and false imprisonment, but also he was posting revenge porn basically, and that could get him a lot of time, but there's a lot of other things that could be added that could get him even a lot more time, right? So now we're going to go to this. We're going to press play.
In Cobb County, convicted killer and ex-cult leader Anna Young has died. The Marietta woman led the House of Prayer cult in Florida. A judge sentenced her to 30 years in prison for the deaths of 2 toddlers in the 1980s. Young had been in prison just 42 days before her death. Joy Fluker, Young's daughter, says Young was in the ICU on oxygen Monday night. This is what Fluker had to say about her experience when we spoke with her earlier this year.
Those are things I can't live with, because I feel like if I live with those, then I'm just as guilty. This is what I'm ashamed of. This is my life sentence.
Former members of the cult say Young, known as Mother Anna, would torture and abuse members for their sins by various means.
Right. So like I was saying is, there's cults all over the world, but specifically out of Georgia, you got, Tamaray was taken down. You got, Nubians. You got, there's just so many cults popping up, and different factions of different groups, whether it's tied to Egypt type of stuff, or Muslims, or Hebrew Israelites. There's just, in Atlanta right now, you go downtown and the Hebrew Israelites, they're taking over, right? So it's an interesting era that we're in right now. I believe one of the Hebrew Israelite places of worship was taken down in Harlem for misappropriating funds and things like that. But yeah, so we're gonna go to this next thing right here.
But for a good reason.
Come on. I'm not even gonna play this. I just wanted to show y'all that there's a whole nother element to this, that the cult members could possibly be. We know that they're spreading diseases, but we don't know if Nature Boy is knowingly spreading HIV. But he's admitted to having relations with people with HIV, and in the last video we even showed the receipt of NATUREBOY saying that Serenity was HIV positive. And it's also important to note that Serenity and Rambo were there when Mama Dia passed away, and they returned Mama Dia's body with no clothes, to the authorities in Central America. I forget which country. And, that's just, really heinous stuff. And another overview here, we're just going to go through some mug shots of when he got everybody arrested. So this is kind of like a looking back, since it's pretty much over for NATUREBOY. He's not getting out. He's not going to get any bond. That's a very important thing to know. He's not getting bond from this, since he's been indicted before the 90-day date. The 90 days would have been on this Thursday. Today's July 12th. But on July 14th would have been exactly 90 days from his booking. Right. So, yeah, you can see these are... it says police have arrested and charged 21 visitors from out of state for allegedly violating the state's mandatory emergency 14-day quarantine order. So they all flew to Hawaii, and they went out and started filming and playing with turtles and stuff, and they all got bagged. All right, they show this guy's face twice. But yeah, you can see that. I mean, over the years, his there goes Natiri. So Natiri's the one that was able to get him arrested for the R word, the grape without a G, right? And people are freaking out right now because she's currently with this guy right here, Solar, and people are feeling like hopefully some people think that he may be trying to get her to recant her story or something like that. But yeah, so it's like and also this guy, Tron right here. It's important to know he used to be a bouncer for NATUREBOY. He used to be one of his security, and when Eliana was trying to escape, he was on video doing false imprisonment against Eliana, and that's why I feel like they all need to be investigated, and it's a much bigger case because there's somebody, Mama Dia passed away, and there was all these babies that mysteriously disappeared sometimes, what I'm saying, where people were just kind of mysteriously having miscarriages and whatnot, and we don't know if he was giving them drugs to have miscarriages, but all this stuff is still open to be investigated. And you can also see he was a lot of his members are sickly because he's taking all their snap cards and pooling it and then eating good himself, and then a lot of them weren't eating right and malnutrition and stuff. You can see the sister, who's actually still married, right? Zoka's married to, is actually married to Solar. So it's just a lot of confounding stuff overlapping. And, this is the guy from the last video. We showed a receipt of, him talking about, what he did in his childhood and stuff like that. So there's a lot of really sick, deranged people in this cult. And this sister was there for a short time and got out. But she says that he tried to put himself on her, but she resisted or whatnot. And and with Malia right here, it's very important to note that Malia was just seen on video this summer trying to escape, and the other her other wives or women in her coven, or they call it Three's Pride now, I guess they call it, his so-called wives. They kind of they chased her down. She was having some type of manic episode in the cul-de-sac of their community, and neighbors started calling the police, and before the police arrived, the other women had these other women right here. They encircled her. I believe she wasn't there, this one, but they encircled her, and they started harassing her and trying to get her to come back. So, and that's one of the reasons also he wasn't getting bond, because he was actually intimidating witnesses and telling his other cult members to intimidate the other people. We're gonna get to this stuff, his male model stuff, right? And I hate even showing that nasty stuff, but let me see. So yeah, let's go back to this right here. So yeah, Malia was also, in that fight with Eliana, and he has them sisters slapping each other. That was on the news, and intimidating each other, and like I was saying, like a gang. And I don't even want to say as a gang, because cults are gangs and gangs are cults, right? And this cat right here, he did heinous things, did some R. Kelly stuff to his own sisters. He admitted that he was drunk on camera, and you can go to this page right here. I'm not even gonna play it, but he admits what he did to his sisters. That's why it's like I can't even let this guy's audio play. He's such a sick person, right? But I'm gonna close this right here, right? And let me go back to where I was. Let's see, where was I? I was right here. But yeah, true. It's like that's the thing, is that he's not just plucking random people to come be with him. A lot of times he vets a lot of people, right? And Fu with her praise dancing for him and stuff like that. It's just too much. And the thing is, it's like True right now really might be trying to be the next leader and take on the gospel of NATUREBOY, because to them they're all disciples. They all look at themselves as like disciples, because we just saw Malia speaking on behalf of NATUREBOY a day ago, and they see themselves as disciples. So they see it as like, okay, NATUREBOY is the Messiah to them, and now that he's gone, maybe she's gonna have the book of Malia and the book of True and the book of Furu and all these things. And that's how crazy this cult really is. But I'm gonna keep it moving. These are just past members, right? We see Newbie and all these cats, and Niza. Shout out to Niza, who just admitted this weekend and the other day that she actually helped call CPS on the cult. For little baby Job. Remember, they had little baby Job actually praying to NATUREBOY, and let's pray that little baby Job was never given the downloads, right? Let's pray. But yeah, this NATUREBOY's cult is, he grooms people that are either on the edge, have are mentally ill, and this is a serious thing within hip hop culture, because a lot of these people are artists. A lot of times a lot of artists are on the edge, and they don't have to be mentally on the edge always, but a lot of times they're on the edge of society, and he tries to get these people to reject their families. And as we covered in the past with Maria Lynn Kelly, she actually killed her mom after leaving the cult, and doing a whole YouTube live about rejecting your parents, which is part of NATUREBOY's doctrine of rejecting your parents. He calls them Babylon, and he says you should reject them, right? So we're gonna close that. All right, we're gonna close this window right here, and now we're gonna play. Let me play this thing actually. So we're just gonna go through some of these pictures, just to recap. They're not able to live where they were. They got kicked out, right? So they're staying at a follower's house. So there's core members, but then there's people that are actually just followers and supporters that are giving them money. And when in court the other day, last week, they had the hearing where his bond was denied. One of his followers, that wasn't somebody living with him, but just kind of a subscriber and a follower, was trying to give a good character reference for him. But most of the things that he did were on video, just heinous things, crazy things. And even though it looks all good and they're smiling in these pictures, there's been a lot of beat downs, and like I was saying with Malia's, just she was sick in the hospital, serious illnesses after she fought Velvet, right? And you can see he has them he's branding them as well. He's got the tattoos on their heads, and even right here, I'm gonna click over to here. Even these tattoos right here, he's not only is he branding them on their head, but he's also branding them on their rears too. You see, he's got the name Eligio tattooed on all of them.
What's going on in the back?
So it's like he's literally this is why we're covering the hip hop cults, because other kids see this type of stuff and they're like, oh, that's cool, I want to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, looking good.
They're like, oh yeah, that's cool, you know, because for a lot of, you know, for the, I don't know, I wouldn't say necessarily the average male, but you know, a lot of males are have fantasies of being like polygamous and things like that, and this Nature Boy's cult is kind of playing into like a masochistic, you know, patriarchal male fantasy. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, we're just gonna play this clip from this BBC thing. Let me close this. All right, this right here. I'm gonna play this. So this is a little blast from the past. I'm gonna play this clip.
After seeing everything that's posted in the media, all we've been doing is speaking the truth, and they put out Nature Boy to be some kind of criminal, some kind of, what would one say, like, what would I say, what can I say?
A cult leader.
Yeah.
But they never tell you what my cult is about. Like, I explained what the cult is. What a cult is, they're trying to depict me to be Waco, Texas, and someone that is a dangerous person that is controlling people's minds to kill them. But I'm a culture, and the culture is to live in harmony with nature. That's the kind of cult we are. We're not.
So this woman was part of the cult, and she didn't want to leave, and you know, her parents got scared, and you know, authorities were called, and he eventually returned her.
We're not really a cult. They just called us a cult. We took onto it and said, all right, cool, we're a cult. We're a culture. That's true, because we're a group of people that live by a religion, a set of rules. Our rules are the laws of nature. Our culture is nature. They're trying to depict me to be a cult leader in another way, in a dangerous way, so they could come kill me and save the daughter, the white girl daughter.
Bringing up things like about, well, half of it's not even true what they were posting. Like, they would be twisting everything that was said, that we recorded, and also like bringing up things about the old nature, like who Nature Boy was in Babylon, which he overcame, and bringing up that and trying to like make some image of a black person, like, because that is what they see. They are trying to, it's all racism. Like, they tried to make it seem like, oh, this.
But see, you know, at that point in time, he was he had a lot of people from around the world in his cult, a lot of different ethnicities, a lot of people of the European diaspora. But when he was bagged, he only had one person that a lot of people, that was of the European diaspora, that a lot of people say was possibly, you know, like an informant that was working with detectives or with police. But we don't know if he was, but, you know, it happened at the same time.
This is a white girl. If I was with a white woman or a white family, like, this wouldn't even be happening. It's all only happening because of the color of the skin. That's so fucked up. Like, we're all the same. Would it be any different if we were Chinese, or if I was black? If I was black, it would be different.
Yeah. You know, if you was Chinese and I was Japanese, there'd be a problem, because there's prejudice in all races. Matter of fact, I don't want to just say that this is only white people, because there are beings in white bodies that are beautiful souls, obviously. And so I'm not in that trap, in that mind trap.
Remember, he has doctrines that go against each other all the time. He's always on some paradoxical stuff, because he's said the exact opposite of these things as well.
We're basically limited by what the media has exposed us to. Now we live in an information age. They can't lie. If I didn't have this internet, I'd be a dead man right now. But the fact that I have the power of media, my own media, I can speak for myself and not allow somebody else to depict my character.
So, yeah, I'm going back to Canada mainly because of the safety of us. I don't want anybody getting hurt because I'm here. So I'm gonna go back there for now until I get things straightened out. And it's like, I came here to be free, and the beings that one didn't want any contact with, I didn't want any contact with them anymore. Like, they are still being possessive over me. Like,
so why did you leave in the first place?
And also it's important to note that, you know, on film he snatched up his baby's mother, and I'm talking about Eliana Velvet, and he, you know, beat her up and forcibly cut her hair in the back room. He cut all her hair off to shame her, and then he made all the members cut their hair off.
We can't own.
Why did you leave? Why don't you tell them why you left in the?
And also, it's important to note that the T is hiding a lot of videos. You know, shout out to, you know, World News and them for calling out the T. The fact that, you know, because in my experience, I noticed that the T was actually kind of enabling Nature Boy, and we'll do a whole lecture on that in the future. But they were kind of enabling the cult by not necessarily just going against what they're saying, because Nature Boy told her to take down all the videos, and I mean to hide the videos, and she hid the videos. You know, I think Nature Boy was threatening to flag her videos for sampling him or whatever, and I think she went with his request from the T, and she hid all her videos, and then she came back this year with releasing old content as new content. But now that he's in jail, he's going to be there for decades possibly. I'm wondering why the T isn't, if they're really trying to help law enforcement, why isn't the T showing all the videos, right?
First,
because there's just so much information that could help investigators and you know, help more people to come out and speak about what happened.
Place. Did I call you like,
and what's happening, because there's things that are still ongoing.
Hey, come join us.
And it's also a thing, I forgot to say that in the state of California, they just changed the law to where if you're knowingly giving somebody HIV, it's attempted murder. It used to be attempted murder, but they just changed that law, right? Because then you got people like that actor, what's his name, from Major League Baseball, I forget his name, that actor, Estevez's brother. But people knowingly giving people HIV was decriminalized in California, but every state is different, you know, and we don't know what's happening yet with the blood tests and all that type of stuff, because, you know, when York went down, you know, in Tamaray in Eatonton, Georgia, they blood tested the children and stuff like that, and yeah, we don't know if they're gonna be blood testing people.
Be here with us. Am I controlling or manipulating your mind?
I was gonna leave Canada even before I found nature, so
you actually tried to, and
like, I just felt like I belonged here. That's why I came here. Like, my heart just felt like this is my family, so that's why I came here. But I was gonna go. I had plans to leave the country even before, like. And then they tried to be possessive over me, so I got put on pills because I want to leave.
So basically, her family, you know, she's saying that her family just basically put you on medication because you try to leave. Like, she tried to go to Hawaii before she got here.
Yeah.
I didn't know this. Mm-hmm. I didn't know, but I did ask her before she got here, do you have crazy parents? She was like, well, they don't matter. I'll throw my phone away, because we had someone here else that was white that got snatched out of here before.
So now we're going to find the actual BBC thing. I think it's higher up. That's so weird. I had it saved, but I don't have it saved right now. It looks like I accidentally closed the window. So I'm going to have to pull it up. I'm going to have to type BBC Cult Leader Jungle Costa Rica. Alright, so yeah, I had this loaded up. I'm going to play it right now before we end this. I'm gonna keep it
How old
short.
are you guys? I'm actually immortal. I don't die.
Okay.
Energy never dies.
Yeah,
Albert Einstein says this.
These people belong to an alternative community in Costa Rica.
Well, we really don't like using toilets. Like,
What is the thing you hate so much about the toilet?
the soil belongs to the trees, and I'm in an abusive relationship with the tree if I'm not giving it back.
Their community is called melanation. It gets its name from melanin, the pigment in our bodies that...
So before they were carbonation, they were melanation, right? And the reason he calls himself carbonation is because of that whole 666 thing people talk about with the protons, neutrons, and electrons all having being 6. You know, the number 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons for carbon, so they call themselves carbonation.
determines our skin color. The group believe that living in the sunshine of the tropics can make them superior beings. But this belief seems to be based on a discredited racial theory that the darker a person's skin becomes, the more their intelligence increases. It's nonsense.
So if you lack melanin, you are genetically retarded.
At first, it had just black members, but as it grew, white people were admitted.
This is white. This is light brown.
And melanation aren't the only ones. It's thought that there are over 20 alternative groups in Costa Rica, searching for their version of paradise, living more sustainably and organically. I'm taking part in a cacao ceremony with another group called Punta Mona to find out what the appeal is.
Have you seen The Matrix?
I have. It's a great film.
Oh my God.
What a film that is. So you've taken like the red pill.
Yeah.
Wow. What does it feel like to have taken the red pill? To have that realization of how the world really is?
I just left. I got out of a engagement. I had a condo. I had the whole thing of success in within society's eyes. And for me, it wasn't filling me up with happiness, you know? The problem is people care about money. And we want to be outside.
And like I was saying, there's cults all around the world, obviously, but we've been covering the cults that intersect with hip hop, and it's a plague that's been happening and growing, and then it's finally the police are finally cracking down, right? And also I want to shout out Uma Kahir York, an actress in my film, one of Dr. York's daughters. Polite actually tried to kill her and her brother to try to take over their building, the library, the Dr. York Library in Bushwick, on Bushwick Avenue. You know what I'm saying? Over by, where Bushwick meets, like Williamsburg, by Myrtle, over there where the library is, right? But I'm going to play this right here.
The popularity of these communities seems to stem from a dissatisfaction with Western life. I wanted to find out if this was also the case for members of melanation.
It's just so bombarded with thoughts, like unnecessary fear. People fear the government. They fear of losing their water. They fear losing their food at the grocery store. People are so scared about this. We don't even have to be a part of that anymore because we're learning through technology in the age of information. We're learning how to live sustainably. Like, you can learn everything you want on YouTube, on the internet. The internet was given to this generation for a reason, so we can wake up.
The race thing was out of control in this place, like, especially in Texas, like, it was too racist, and it was just too much going on. And I just didn't feel like a child would really be able to develop there.
But they may not have always found the paradise they were looking for. Critics of melanation have branded it a cult.
What do you think of that? People saying it's a cult.
I think that Canada is a cult, like the U.S. is a cult. Everyone is a part of a cult. Culture is a group of people who have similar beliefs.
I am the black man. I am God. I love myself.
Meet NATUREBOY. He founded melanation 2 years ago, but had to move back to the US due to visa problems. His leadership has been heavily criticized online.
Brainwashed his ass.
Plus, I don't like how the women are being treated.
He was extorting money from a young person.
This is Ave. She left melanation after less than a month.
They couldn't accept the lifestyle of a kid and, what it come with. everyone goes to sleep at the same time. Like, when I was there, we was all sleeping in one room. If NATUREBOY is not done talking or done doing this, then we don't go to sleep. Like,
did you ever have a situation?
Also, you know, we found that NATUREBOY was not only controlling people's sleep and giving them all types of drugs to disorient them, he was also, you know, walking while they're asleep, you know, just picking people up and you know, harming them on some R. Kelly stuff, and also even him walking around disrobed and doing Pee Wee Herman movie theater stuff, you know, to keep it clean. All right, so I'm gonna press play.
Situation where you went against the schedule?
Yeah, I got in trouble for missing a meeting, and what I was doing was putting him to sleep. They see him as a father, you know. They see him as like their master teacher. You know, you don't disrespect the master teacher.
Is it a cult?
It is.
I'm not doing an interview with BBC.
These communities seem to offer a new and utopian way of living, giving people the truth they always wanted. At the end of the day, we all want paradise, but it seems the problems of the outside world may always prove too hard to keep away.
And yeah, so that wraps up this lecture. We'll see what happens next. You know, for more information on this, you can go to, you know, make sure to like and subscribe Kulu live streaming, to Kulu's page. You can find more information when he broke the story yesterday, and also at King Wurld's page. You can go to their pages and find a lot more information on all these subjects, because, you know, King Wurld's the OG and all this. He's been covering this for at least like 5 years and half a decade, and denouncing them the whole time, you know, whereas a lot of outlets like the T have been flip-flopping back and forth between quasi-denouncing and actually enabling the cult, you know, because it's like, why is the T still hiding all those videos? You know, if the T really opened up all those videos again, authorities would be able to see a whole lot more, and the DA would have even, you know, maybe she's just giving the DA that stuff personally, but you got to remember there's people like Mama Dia's sister. There's other people that, you know, may be having active cases or getting detectives or civil suits. You know, civil suits can be still filed against him and things like that, because the statute of limitations on the R word and things like that are pretty long in most states, even, especially even as far as murder. You know, with Mama Dia, we don't know if it was a homicide or not, because they just turned over her body in a Central American country, and they're just like, whatever, she was a tourist that died, you know, type of a thing, you know, tourist that died in the jungle. And also, you know, I rarely say this, but, you know, you can also like and subscribe my page as well, and you know, hit the bell for the notifications. And I'm going to end it off on this. You know, I don't even want to click on all these, but, you know, you can see he started out, you know, we already showed the proof that he was a you know, male video model. And when I'm talking about male videos, I'm saying male mature videos. You know, I don't even want to say what it is. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I don't even want to, this stuff is jarring to me or whatever. But you know, this is just where we're at for the state of hip hop, you know. And as we know, you know, with Disney said that they want 50% of their content to be basically LGBT and minority content. And so there's a strong push right now in the media, you know, to emasculate brothers. And we see that NATUREBOY was also emasculating his cult. And another thing is that the news was never talking about the fact, you know, when they arrested him, they never talked, you know, about the fact that he is pro-LGBT and also had a male wife, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, the media is actually kind of concealing the fact that him and Young Thug, of, you know, head of the Slime Gang, are both, what you call it, of this movement, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that basically wraps up this lecture. And yeah, so I would say to everybody that is supporting Nature Boy, I would say it's over. Game's over. You know, Nature Boy's gone, and you know, maybe he can pull strings from jail or whatever, and the cult could keep trying to go on if people like True try to you know, try to actually keep it going. But you know, let's hope that that doesn't happen and they don't end up like Elron and actually keep it going, right? And yep, so that's it. Peace, y'all. Peace.
What y'all know about McKinneyville arachnids with 10 trillion ants swarming all over with mandibles latching? Atlantis finest, mantis madness, the otis, alkaline pilot Osiris, Osalago modest. And to be exact, this the ain't no more playing GA Tamaray, open on 3 of your eyelids. The highest title, numero uno, commander-in-chief on this beat. Remember your fleet to Guantanamo. I saw we playing dominoes, man. We hopping the whip, bumping the Celia cruising, I knew they go Calderon. Then hit the liquid eyes, looking like Riddick Chronicles, Pominos. It's the Honorable Apache, break Geronimo, woke path on the prodigal, keeping your eye on the Powerball. Now you see we switching lanes. What y'all really know about the river's veins? So many names, shot down in flames. Woe after woe, we see through they games. Password, hood, rave, pound, settle, dose. Shout out to be for high weight folk holding down midday. Took my ex chromosome. Hexadecimal, syllabary, electrical, goon, metal, chrome. Poem, manifesting in song. And took one for my folks that's gone. I'm so good, I'm on. The book gets on. Good looking throne. Keep booking down. This here Brooklyn Calm. Keep on cooking, y'all. Or make sure to check your phone and update the song. And toke one for my folks that's gone. And this goes back to TNC Surf. About the same time Billy Tezak's adventure had crossed my turf. DNA time travel ley line of earth. Master of rain, kick flip on vert. Triptych televised, picnic reverse. Misfits telling lies, lifted the curse. Hit, hooray, Don Quixote Bay. Trick switch, terrorize, this is the verse. And don't sleep on this likeness, vice grip mic. Check the hype, this nitrous fight. This nicest repeat ISIS. Neck bit vulture on my shoulder, we pirates. Lynchian spices, Libyan prices. Pineal process, set a billion cycles. 50K horsepower, my S will be bison. Even Russian psychics get hype when Os is right in. Sound clash of titans, Os techno Viking, Highlander lightning. Chopping heads for biting, outlast the tightest, low, no hype, man. What y'all really know about Atlanta likings? Senses heightened in Jetsu silence, Chupacabra sightings through empathic mind tricks. I'm so excited and I just can't hide it. What y'all suckers know about the science of siphons? Scuba dive with dolphins, life's totally awesome. Crossword crossing, crossroad crosses. Off-road boss house, dukes are cautious. Sonically raw dog, chronologically sawed off. Quantum mechanics shotgun, Copenhagen options. Gold-plated solid state, circuit boat gossip. Popping and locking, 1990 the possum. And who the Colossus of Gotham? Heavy in Austin, worldwide Boston. And that's just for talking. Zero gravity golf and watch the bouncing Spalding.